Key Nation, what is going on, man? It's your boy Emmanuel Keen, and today you see it in the title. We're going to be going over the things I wish I knew when I first started off engineering, featuring your boy Swole Hammy, fam. He is actually a professional mixing engineer, and he's going to be giving some of his tidbits and some of his experiences that he's had first starting off as an engineer, as well as myself, man. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button, 'cause we a movement, boy. Let's get it. Key Nation, what is going on, man? You guys see it in the title, man. We are going to be going over the things that we wish we knew when we first started off engineering. All right, man. So this is the homie Swole. I'll give a quick introduction. This man has been mixing for a long, how many years now?
Officially, I started in 2016.
Okay, so it's 2022 now, so probably a cool 6 years. Yeah. Cool 6 years, man. I've been engineering for about 8 years, but I will say this. I didn't really know what I was doing until probably like 2016, 2017. So we probably be engineering around the exact same time, you feel me? But yeah, this is the homie Swole Hammy. He actually mixed a few of my songs, one of them being Sugar Water. If you guys want to check that out, go to the link in the description because it's fire, you feel me? And he's been mixing for a while now. He's been, he's went through ups, he's went through downs, he's went through highs, he's went through lows, he's went through an evolution of studios when it comes down to literally, sitting at your desk and kind of just figuring out what you can figure out on a laptop and maybe getting some speakers together, whether it be computer speakers, whatever. We all start off from somewhere, essentially, right? And now he is in a legitimate studio. I've been there. It's legit. I got a half studio, okay? He got a whole he literally got a whole studio with an isolation booth and everything, you know what I'm saying? He actually built it from the ground up, right?
Mostly, yeah, mostly.
Crazy. I can't, me personally, I can't do that, okay? This is the exact reason why you see acoustic panels and stuff like that. You think I built those? No, I did not build any of these, you know what I'm saying? I had somebody come through and install them because I'm not there and I won't ever be there, okay? I'm gonna need to pay people to do it because I don't got, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have the money to pay for it, but I saved up, and that's why you see what you see now, you feel me? But the homie actually built his from the ground up, you know what I'm saying? Got his hands dirty and actually legitimately made a studio, and I admire him for that, you feel me? Because
much love.
I can't do that. Hey, you feel me?
You can do it.
You know what? You right. I just won't do it. You feel me, man? So without further ado, welcome the homie Swole. Hey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that amazing introduction. Obviously, bro, that's just crazy. But can we curse on here? I'm trying not to.
Okay.
I try not to.
Yeah, this is a family channel. I try to refrain myself from cussing too, but this is a family channel. So, for the aspiring engineers that might be watching, the 15, 16, I was definitely cussing. Well, 10, 11, 12, So we gonna try to keep it PG. On this channel. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed to be here, bro. Thank you for having me.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I'm glad that you came. I'm definitely glad that you came. And I really wanted to talk firstly about, of course, the title or whatever the case is, but what got you into engineering? Like, what made you want to start off doing that?
That's a good question. Okay, so I first started engineering because I initially started making beats. I wanted to be a producer at first, and then I was living in Alabama at the time. This was high school, so I'm giving out beats to people, but nobody had a place to record. And so I'm like, I don't really know what recording is, but I'm going to figure it out. And eventually I just bought a little $100 mic, Audio-Technica AT4020, I think it was. I don't even think I got an interface. I think I got...
Was it a USB?
I think I got some kind of Audio-Technica USB mic. And I plugged it straight into the computer, and I literally was hanging it off of my closet door with a pop filter over it. And they was rapping in my closet up against the closet door, like the mic just hanging on the door. And they just rapping like that. So that's how I started recording people. But that was like 2008. Like, so I don't even count that because I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm just like, they need somewhere to record. I'm going to figure it out.
Right.
Here, you could do it here now.
Right.
So that's how I started. And then it kind of became
Evolved.
Yeah. Over
Okay.
time, yeah.
Okay. I could dig that. Yeah, when I first started doing engineering, bro, I mean, I don't even really consider engineering for real. But at least when I was recording myself, I had a Guitar Hero mic.
Oh, okay.
I had a Guitar Hero mic, bro, and the Guitar Hero, that was I almost said the word, that was my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy Guitar Hero a lot, you feel me? So the homie actually made a song, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and let me start recording something. So I got a Guitar Hero mic, bro, and for a pop filter, I got a church sock. And
Okay,
I put the
that's
church
smart.
sock over the Guitar Hero mic, and that's how I guess that started off my engineering journey. I really didn't know what I was doing. I just, put reverb on stuff and
Same.
compression. I didn't know what I was doing, man. I didn't know the threshold. I didn't know about ratio. I didn't know about none of that stuff.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? So I just threw it on there, and if it sounded good, it sounded good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to talk about that, whenever we're talking about, us as engineers and experimenting with different types of plugins and figuring all that stuff out. What in the software, in the box, right? When you first start off engineering, do you wish you would have known first starting off as opposed to just putting out mixes?
Okay. One thing I want to, before we get to that, I want to
Okay.
say like how you knew to put a EQ plugin or a compressor or a reverb or a delay on vocals.
Well, I don't want to say I knew that. I just
Right.
saw some stuff on there, so I just threw it on there.
Yeah, but like you listen to music a certain way differently than other people.
Yeah.
That was like, it's missing something. This don't sound like how it's supposed to sound. Let me change it in some kind of way so it can sound how I think it's supposed to sound.
Correct.
And
You absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
That is the first thing that I wish I knew.
Oh, you did?
Literally. Like, no, like I wish I knew that I was listening to music differently than everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Because before I thought everybody knew, like, you need to have some reverb on your vocal. I don't know why it's called reverb, or that there's different types of reverb. I didn't even know. But I knew that there needs to be something else here
Right.
that I heard on these other songs that other people don't even know is on other songs.
Facts.
And I think that's even if you're a producer, like there's certain things you hear as a producer that other people just don't hear.
Yeah.
So I wish I knew I was listening differently than everybody else. Then I think I would have tapped into it a lot earlier.
Right.
And
Right.
got into it seriously earlier.
Right. Because otherwise you was just kind of just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
For
and just
years.
trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Did you watch like tutorials, first started off? Because I know I didn't. I didn't watch tutorials. I didn't even know, when 2016, 2017 is when I legitimately started watching tutorials. But, even when YouTube was a thing back then, before then, I wasn't thinking about, watching stuff to like make the music sound good. Now, I know that the quality was a significant difference. Like if you played my song and then played a song on the radio, you can definitely hear it. Even to the average consumer that, the amateur consumer, like you can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was certain things that needed to come about in order to make it sound like that.
Right.
It wasn't until 2016, 2017 where I was like, okay, let me educate myself on how to make this sound better.
Yeah.
When did that resonate with you?
Honestly, around the same time.
Okay.
2016, 17.
So, but
yeah.
that's around the time that you first started, though.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
the
so-
time where before then I had been recording people. That's like when I first got to Pensacola, like 2015. I started recording people just kind of for fun.
Okay.
Because I was still doing a lot of production and people just needed a place to record again. So I was recording again. And then I realized that I could make money doing it. And so that's when I was like, okay, I need to figure out what I'm actually doing. And that's when I started taking it serious and started reading books and doing research, looking up YouTube videos and everything, trying to really learn everything I could about it. But before then, I was not looking at YouTube videos. Like I was just going off the cuff, just like
Throwing it on there.
Yeah, like I kind of use I listen to a lot of music, so I use my just whatever I had in my head, what I thought it should sound like. And as much as I knew to get there, I would just kind of try to figure it out and make it work. And it didn't sound that great, but it was like, that's just what I did.
So you said that eventually you started to educate yourself. Was there a specific time or a specific thing that you heard inside of music? What was there? Can you recall a certain experience that made you be like, you know what? This don't sound right. Let me educate myself. The quality got to improve, or did you just kind of like gradually do that over time?
Now that you say that, there was a specific time where I realized.
Would somebody
that-
critique your stuff? Did somebody be like, bro, this is trash. We don't like this don't sound good, bro. Like,
No,
oh, okay,
it wasn't that.
okay.
It was like, but it was kind of a little bit. Like, I remember one of my friends, I had played some songs that I had produced for him, and I had mixed them too. They weren't really mixing, but I had I had played them, and he kept saying like all the vocals sound like too low, like kind of under the beat. And I was like, because the way I was mixing everything, I was a producer, so I was like, I want to hear these parts of the beat, and I wasn't really focusing on the vocals and how everything worked together.
Okay.
And so that's initially when I was like, okay, maybe I need to figure out like why this doesn't sound how it should sound. And so it kind of sent me on a little rabbit hole journey on figuring that stuff out.
Okay. So in that event, right, you're figuring out everything. You're it's like, okay, cool. Like, I know that the quality or, the levels don't sound where it needs to be. And that kind of led you to think, okay, I need to figure this stuff out. So going into engineering and discovering things about plugins, what was the thing that you probably did throughout your education, throughout your experience in discovering plugins and how to do things right? What did you do that kind of hindered your quality or like hindered your sound or didn't or kept you at a specific I guess space of amateur quality, I guess? What did you do during that time? Because I know exactly what I did, but I'm curious to hear what yours was.
So like the things I was doing that basically was making the quality bad.
Right,
Okay.
essentially.
So,
And during finding that out in plugins.
I would say 3 things. The first thing is learning how to record vocals.
Okay.
Like I said, I was up against the wall. Like, this is not a good recording situation.
Absolutely
You know
not.
what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I was recording
Reflection.
reflections bouncing off the wall,
Yep.
reverbs, the delay, all kind of stuff, comb filtering, everything going on.
Right.
It's all bad. You know what I mean? And I'm recording in the middle of rooms, up against walls, in terrible closets, bathrooms. Like, see, I've tried all the worst places to record, so I know, like, okay, this is why you don't record in these places.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I was doing all of that without, like, trying to figure out where I should record.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing, learning how to record vocals, learning, like, mic technique, how close you should be, how far you should be, stuff like that. The second thing is compression. I couldn't hear compression. I didn't know what I was doing with compression. There's a lot of songs that I used to, like, they're squashed. Like, they squeeze and go, like, smaller, and then when the 808 goes away, it gets bigger again. Like, it's just messed up. It sounds terrible.
So when you hear and not to cut you off, but
No, for sure.
when you hear your quality and how you mix songs before as opposed to how you mix songs now, you hear a complete difference, don't you?
Completely night and day.
It's crazy.
For sure.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And the third thing is just learning about acoustics, which kind of goes into recording vocals, but still acoustics, even when you're mixing, you can't hear everything if the room is bad, because the only thing you really hear is your room. You know?
You better talk that talk. Talk that talk. Let them know. I preach this all the time. Y'all know, Key Nation, I be preaching this all the time. Acoustics are so important.
Yeah.
My fault, man. Keep going. Go
I
ahead,
appreciate
bro.
it. Make sure we on the right path.
We on the
saying
right page,
things.
man. On me.
Yeah. But for sure, like, even when you're recording a vocal, whatever you're recording the room, you're recording the air, the space. You're recording all these reflections. So if the acoustics in your room is bad, you're not really hearing what you want to hear anyway. So that's why you might mix something that sound good in your room. You take it to the car and you be like, this don't sound like nothing I thought it was going to sound like. Probably because your room is messed up, your listening environment is messed up. So those 3 things, once I started attacking those problems, like, everything kind of changed for me.
And that's so important. That is so important. I preach that all the time. Key Nation, y'all know I be preaching that all the time. Acoustics are super duper important. And it's crazy because that's the thing that people miss, like, and very frequently. Very frequently. And I hear, I have some artists hit me up and they like, they ask me about my quality, this, that, and the third. And, they say, yo, what do you do? And they list off this expensive equipment. You know, oh, I know about the Newman, bro. And you know that Apollo Twin. I see you just got the Apollo Twin. And, you know, I'm really trying to get my hands on these new monitors and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bro, I hear you, but you should definitely look into getting your room treated firstly, because getting all of that equipment, getting, you know, the most expensive mics. Well, firstly, if your music ain't good, none of that gonna help.
Not at all.
If your music not good, none of that gonna help. So that's number one. But and before getting all of this expensive equipment and everything that you want, not need, but everything that you want, look into getting your room treated, because if you don't have an accurate representation of the sounds that are coming out of your monitors, then it's just gonna be bad. It's gonna be all around bad for you. So that's something that's very, very, very important. I'm gonna say for me, the first thing, or one of the things that I recognized starting off as an engineer, fiddling around with plugins, is something that I did frequently that I didn't necessarily know how to do or how to control, was compression, which is one of the things that you mentioned. Compression is so important. And for me, I didn't squash things. I kind of just threw the compression on there, kind of turned up the threshold. And for whatever reason, you know, there was still a lot of frequencies that were seeping through, and you can hear it, you know, and I even heard it myself, but I didn't necessarily know how to fix it, essentially, right? And one of the main things, I'll never forget this. One of the main things, because I talked to one of my homeboys that lives over in Jacksonville, and I said, bro, like, I'm trying to get this compression right. I be turning up the threshold, but I don't want to, you know, turn it up too much to the point to where I'm squashing it and you can't hear the vocal. Like, what do I need to do? He said, well, where's your ratio at? And I said, well, is that 1-to-1? You know, 2-to-1? He said, what?
1-to-1.
He was like, try turning your ratio up. And I said, what? We can do that? I said, we can do that? That is so crazy. And so I did. I turned it up, you know, maybe 3-to-1, 4. I don't turn it up. I don't squash it. But, you know, I turned the ratio up. And that was a significant difference for me whenever it came down to compression, because it definitely controlled the vocal a lot more. And for me, I have a lot of dynamic performances, so it definitely controlled the dynamic performance and leveled out vocal and leveled out the leveling of the actual vocal. It was a game changer for me, changing that ratio, because I didn't even mess with it. You know what I'm saying? And so when my homeboy who was engineering, he's engineered, you know, Future's vocals, Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan's, and stuff like that. So, you know, when he told me that, I said, okay, I'm taking that into consideration. So that is wild. That is super duper wild. Now, let me ask you this, and we're already going into 20 minutes into this. This is damn near I said dang. Ooh, it's okay. Well, I ain't changing. I ain't taking it out. You know what I'm saying? I've said hell, you know, on this channel before, so it's okay. We're going into 20 minutes, but let's go ahead and try to wrap this up. One of the things, we'll go into 2 questions actually. As far as equipment, right? Coming out as an engineer, and I maybe touched on it a little bit, but based off of you, and let's turn this on because we got to make sure we get that light going. But based off of your experiences with equipment, you know, whether it be acoustic treatment or whether it be microphones or whatever, what did you wish you knew as an engineer first starting off whenever you got your equipment?
Okay. I wish that, because I was probably just like everybody else. I thought I needed a certain mic, certain interface, monitors. I wish I knew, like, it doesn't, like, the gear isn't that important. Like, I could get a Focus Scarlett right and record somebody's vocal straight through it with the same microphone I used to use, the AT 40. Oh damn!
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
The AT 4020 or whatever, 2020. I forgot what it is, but. And it could sound just as good. Now, yeah, there is a slight maybe 10% that you could get with a little bit, you know, these preamps, these compressors, different mics, better recording situations, but it's not the difference. There's a little bit of a difference, but it's not that big of a difference. Just the gear is not that important. Pretty much, it's important, but it's not that important.
Right.
Your skills, your knowledge, you know what I'm saying, your experience, that's the most important part. Because I be watching Mix by Ali Mix on Twitch and on YouTube all the time. Like he could go crazy with whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just him, you know. So you just got to work on your skills and work on your knowledge and get good. And the gear is not that important.
So that's one of the, and so you were pretty much harping over that when you first started off.
Yeah, when I first started, I was like, okay, it doesn't sound good, not because of me, because my interface isn't that good, or because I can't hear everything because my monitors aren't that good, or because I don't have certain plugins. But no, it was just me. Like, I just sucked. I was trash.
You gotta take accountability. You gotta take accountability at
me.
the end of the day.
Exactly. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It's so much about this stuff, especially when you first begin. There's so much you don't even know that you don't know.
And even now, like we're still, I mean, we're barely scratching the surface. There is just so many things that engineers do that I'm just like, yo, what? You know, when I just, and me personally, I just purchased a compressor, an Audio Mime's compressor, which is something that you guys don't even have to worry about, you know, first starting off. Like, I don't even worry about implementing external hardware. Just learn what you can learn out of the box first, and which is kind of the piggyback off of what he was talking about. Learn what you can learn out of the box. And for those who don't know what the box is, that's in reference to the DAW, right? The audio software that you're recording off of. Learn what you can learn, everything about your DAW. Learn everything out of the box. Learn about the plugins that it has to offer, the default plugins. And then, you know, you'll start to worry about third-party plugins and stuff like that. Learn about all of that first before even, you know, getting into external hardware, right? And I'm, you know, 6-7 years into the game of engineering, and I'm just now finding out about, you know, tracking vocals using external hardware with you know, compressors and EQs and saturators and stuff like that. There's a whole nother world of that type of stuff, right? But you don't even want to mess with that stuff or even worry about that stuff until you know the basics of what's going on. And I think that's very, very, very important. And actually, saying that leads me into my last question. We're going into close to 25 minutes now, going into 30.
I can talk about this stuff forever. So
I know.
You gotta rush me off the stage.
I know. I ain't trying to rush you.
No, do it. Just rush me off the stage. It's okay. Like, the time is up, my guy.
Yeah, we done. We're talking too much. We want to talk way too much. But real fast, and just to kind of wrap everything up, what do you personally think, you know, for somebody that's starting off, you know, as an engineer that's, you know, aspiring to really, you know, wanting to record artists or maybe starting off their business or whatever the case is, what piece of advice would you give them if they're watching this right now?
Okay.
That, you know, that you would say?
The thing that helped me the most is reading books. I know everybody wants to watch YouTube or video content, but the reason why I love reading books so much, well, I don't love reading books first off, but I love the information that I got from reading the books is because everything is literally organized from basics to advanced. Like it levels you up. Like it's like a course, you know? So I think the summer of 2017 is when I just read a whole bunch of recording and engineering books, and that totally changed everything for me. That changed the game, you know what I'm saying, for me. That's when I really was like, oh yeah, I'm about to do this for real. Like, just read the books, because everything on YouTube, where do you think they got it from? You know what I'm saying? They got it from the books, or they got it from somebody else who made a YouTube video who got it from a book, or who got it from another engineer. Like, the books are like the source of all of this stuff. That's the biggest thing that helped me.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I'll tell them to link some books in the bio that I read.
Yeah, but please do. Please do. Please do. Because I know me personally, I don't like books. Yeah. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. And that's me. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it ain't even for leisure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like reading books, period. You feel me? So that's something that I definitely would have to like work myself into for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know, especially reading things, you definitely absorb knowledge. It's something about reading that you absorb things a lot more. To me, you know, aside from visually learning and looking at tutorials and stuff like that, you know, it's something about reading books that definitely helps you absorb knowledge a lot more. You're to me, you're more intelligent, you know, when it comes down to reading books and things. I'm gonna keep it 100,000 because,
a scholar. Like,
on God, like I really do humbly do believe in that. So
yeah.
I completely get that for sure. As far as what I would say in terms of you know, leaving off with something, right? read books, watch tutorials, but practice.
True. Facts.
So important to practice, because I'm also one of those over analytical people where, I'll watch a whole bunch of tutorials and educate myself as much as I can. Excuse me. I don't got corona, y'all. I just got something stuck in my throat. But I try to educate myself as much as I can. And then, try to do it, and it'll still sound boo-boo. Like, it might sound bad, and the quality might not be as good as I wanted it to be, or I might not know exactly what to do specifically. After watching a gang of tutorials, after, I wouldn't read books, but, watching a gang of tutorials or referencing something that somebody else said or whatever the case is, and it might work a little bit, but it won't be what I expected, right? Things start to sound better the more practice that you do. So the more artists that you record, not everybody has the same voice. My voice is kind of like alto-ish, kind of, going more into like the mid-range or whatever the case is. You got people, excuse me. I don't have corona, y'all, I promise you. It's just talking a lot. So my voice isn't like that. You got people that have lower voices. You got people that have higher voices. When you have people that come into the studio and have all these different types of ranges of voices, is when you start to get a better understanding of frequency range. You start to get a better understanding of the types of voices that come in and out of your studio. You start to know what settings to dial in with your preamp. You know what settings to dial in with your compressor, stuff like that. All of that stuff is very, very important. You can watch and do all of that stuff all day, but if you don't actually do it and put that into practice, not gonna be better. Okay.
Facts.
So that is it, man. I appreciate Swole Hammy, man, for coming through. Thank you so much for blessing us with your knowledge, your experiences, and everything like that, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if y'all enjoyed this, I guess, quote unquote, podcast, right? Let me know if y'all want to see more of these. Maybe I'll have them come over. We can make this a thing. Maybe an episode, a series, or whatever the case is, and we can talk about specific topics. You know what I'm saying? And maybe y'all can roast me in the comment section about my horrible hosting qualities right now. But we gonna get better. This is the first episode. You feel me? So thank y'all so much, man. Smash that like button. Swole, you got anything else to say? You good?
Man, it's been a pleasure, bro.
It's been an extreme pleasure.
And it's me off the stage.
Oh yeah, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? All right, Key Nation, we'll see y'all in the next one, fam. Gang.